Good morning. Thanks for being here. I'm Wendy. I'm teaching yoga for Thupten Nobu Ling. And this morning, let's start lying down. If you like, get a blanket. I like to get a little bit of height underneath my head. You could use a small paper bag. You can fold up a towel, but not like a great big pillow and not a block. Just a little bit of height underneath your head. And let's begin by lying down and starting off here, where the back, the spine can release into length. When you first get to the ground, you can just stretch out any way that you wish. That feels good. Take a yawn. Yawning is good. Especially this is a morning class. It's 8:30 for you. Over there in Mountain Time, 10:30 for me here on the East Coast near Boston. And then after you've taken your stretch, bend your knees. And it doesn't matter where your feet are, how far away or how wide. Don't have them too close, your feet. Have at least hip distance or a bit wider. Bring your arms out and have your arms off, don't have them down on your mat, but have them off your mat so that there's lots of space between the arm and the armpit and the side ribs. And then just take a moment to do nothing and to settle into this present moment. If you need to move, it's fine, but mostly see if you can settle. Bringing your attention into your body and seeing how you feel, how you're showing up, what sensations are there, acknowledging and witnessing, practicing not getting caught up with the stories, being blown about by all our stories and interpretations, but witness your experience. Not trying to make yourself right. And in this shape, this pose, the spine has an opportunity to release into its natural alignment. So as much as you know the anatomy and physiology of the spine, run your attention up and down the vertebrae, which is, the name of the spine bones. You can start at the top, through the neck, down through the chest, and the waist, and then low back, back of the pelvis. That bone there is the sacrum, all the way down to your tailbone. And from tailbone, back of the pelvis, sacrum that's tucked in between the pelvic bones. The low back, which has the biggest spine vertebra, and then moving up, and it turns into what we label the thoracic spine that the ribs attach to, and the spine goes behind the heart and moves up to the throat and the neck. And the top of the vertebra goes as high as if you like, bring your hands up to your ears. And don't block your ears, but put your fingers just to the outside of the ear. And then if your fingers could meet, go into your head and meet, then your fingers would be just on top of the top of your spine vertebrae. If your fingers could go in and meet. So the vertebra is a little deeper and a little higher than most people think. And as you lie here, take a moment to bring to mind your bodhicitta, a positive attitude for our yoga practice this morning, having the bodhisattva attitude that whatever we do, may it be a cause that we awaken to our fullest potential and thereby help bring all beings also to their full potential. Bring your knees into your chest and circle the knees around in one direction. And then circle the knees around the other direction. The arms go straight, you go over to the side. Bring your right knee down and take the left leg back. And when you take the left leg back, you can also go a little bit wide out to the outside of the ribs. The right leg you can keep bent, or you can extend it out some, a lot, or you can extend the leg all the way out. If it's too much to extend the leg all the way out at this point, just keep it bent, it's no problem. There's no competition. We don't want to force anything. We're not trying to prove anything. You're listening to your body, and you want to keep your body pretty happy while we practice. We're not trying to make the body do anything it doesn't want to. If you do extend your right leg out, pull the toes back a little bit. And just take some comfortable, deep breaths. As long as you're breathing in your practice, that's the main thing. And then taking some deeper breaths in and out through the nose, especially lengthening the exhale, can be very helpful. Hugging the leg back. If you like, with your right hand, you can, especially if the leg is extended, give a little tap from the front hip bone across that tight hip flexor and a little down on the thigh. Some taps there. And hug both knees into the chest again. Take some circles. So just you and your body, mind, heart, having a pleasant conversation, practicing movement and embodiment. Everyone's body is different, therefore everyone's yoga practice will be different. Bring the left foot to the ground and hug the right knee back, and then the right knee can go a little wider and thereby come more on the side ribs. You decide about the left leg, and you might keep it bent at first while you take a few breaths, pause, hold the leg in for a moment. So I want to listen carefully to the body because it tells us yes, no, maybe, less, more. And it's a matter of exploring and being curious and less about being right or wrong. Stay safe. We don't want to hurt. No point hurting ourselves. Yoga, the idea of yoga is that it helps, doesn't harm. So sometimes it's our attitude to strive and want to do something that can bring harm or feeling like we have to do it correctly. So very much one of my main goals as a teacher is to teach people to really listen to their body and not to push, and to avoid yoga injuries, which in the last 30 years have become much, much higher with the rise of popular yoga, especially some of the more vigorous styles. Okay, so you're pulling the left foot back if you have the leg extended, and give some taps from the front hip bone across the very fibrous hip flexor tendons that go down onto some of the front of the thigh muscles. Okay, and then hug both knees in. We're going to do it slightly different this time. Hold on to your knees, bring the knees away. Inhale. And exhale, pull back. Keep some contact with the knees. Inhale the knees away, arms straight. And exhale, squeeze the legs back. This time have your knees a little closer together so that it presses down onto your belly. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, pull back. And lengthen the exhale. Encourage a long exhale. Inhale, knees away. The air sucks in. You don't have to force the air in. And exhale, long exhale out. Bring the feet down to the ground. And drop the knees to one side. They don't have to go, or bring your feet hip distance or a little bit wider, even almost as wide as your mat. And gently drop the legs one side, coming back. And gently drop the legs to the other side. And as you drop the legs, so if I drop my legs to the left, the right side of my butt lifts up. You don't have to keep your pelvis on the ground. Back to center, inhale. Exhale, drop the legs. Let your pelvis and low back move with the movement. Just go as far as feels comfortable, and comfortable can definitely mean some stretch, but there are certain sensations that you know if they're sharp or sudden or owie, ouch, and you have an intuition if it feels a bit risky, so you don't need to go there. My body's different from your body, and then also our bodies change day to day, month to month, year to year, decade to decade. So our yoga changes. The next time you're over to the right, keep them there. Keep them there. And again, you might tap the front of, this time it would be the left hip flexor, front of the bone, some taps down. You might feel a stretch through the front of the left thigh, out through the knee. And then even through the left arm, now reach the left arm up at an angle away from the left leg. So there's kind of an angle that happens. Reach out through your left arm, reach and spread out the fingers. And you might find length across the hip flexor area and through the inner pelvis. Bring the hand down, bring the knees back to center. Take just a moment in the center. Feet hip distance, and then gently drop to the left side. Let the back of your tush, pelvis come up. Give some taps through the front hip bone. ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine, is the longer name of front hip bone, and go down and try and feel the fibrous tendon. Tendon is the soft tissue that attaches muscle to bone. So many different names of soft tissue in the body. We're so soft. Most things in our body are very soft, and even the bones are considered hard, but even they have a softness. So tap, tap. And then see if you can reach your right arm in the same trajectory away from your knee, but there's a sense of feeling of connection, long line through the side. And reach out through the hands, spread the fingers, lengthen through side body. Move the right knee like you're pointing the right knee away from you, if that feels okay for your knee. Another breath here, last little reach. Bring the arm down, bring the legs back to center. Pause. And then let's roll over to the side and push yourself up and come onto your hands and knees. And if you like, you can open a blanket from underneath your knees. You don't have to. That might be more comfortable for you. And spread your hands. Bring the shoulders more or less over the hands. Look at your knees. Bring the knees more or less under the hips and the feet are hip distance, pointing back. Reach out through toes. Then drop the belly, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, drop the head, push up between shoulder blades, round the back, tuck the tailbone under, look back between your legs. Inhale, arch, the arms stay pretty straight. Exhale, round, drop the head, look up, look between the legs, push up between shoulder blades, tuck tailbone under. So do this a few times. See if you can create a smooth rhythm. Pause at any time if it feels forced or you've lost your breath. Let your breath be in the behind the driver's wheel. Let your breath be the guide to the movement rather than moving and then your breath having to catch up, figure out. So you can initiate the inhale and drop the belly, lift the chest, look forward. Then begin the exhale, drop the head, round the spine, let the belly button reach up towards the spine, and then begin the inhale. So the movement is led by the breath. Do a couple more times. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back into a child's pose, big toes together, bring your knees wider, and bring your belly between your thighs, extend the arms out. Hips can move side to side. Give a little wriggle in your hips, side to side. And then coming onto your hands and knees, again, let's take the right leg back and lift the right leg so it's parallel to the ground. Inhale, lift the leg, lift the chest, and exhale, round in. Take the leg back, lift the chest, and round in. Do this 3 more times. Breath in the driver's seat, exhale. Deep breath in, lift the leg, lift chest, exhale, bend the knee, flex the leg in. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Bring your knee down, pause for a moment. If it gets too much on your wrist, just come out for a sec and give a little shake with the wrists. Shake it out in the wrists. You can even do a little rub, that's nice. And then let's go to the other side. Spread the hands. Take your left leg back. Lift, feel the weight of your leg. The legs are heavy. They've got big bones and big muscles. And then lift the chest, a little arch. Bend the knee, bend at your hip and round in. Exhale. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, round it in. 3 more, take it back. Long breath out. Deep breath in as it goes back. Long breath out, round in. 1 more. Take it back. And exhale. Bring it down. If you have yoga blocks, get them. If you don't have yoga blocks, that's fine. If you do yoga pretty regularly, it's good to get yoga blocks. They're not that expensive, and they can be super useful. Like, yoga blocks and 1 yoga blanket are the props and, mat I use the most. So let's take the left foot forward, and if you don't have blocks, you do your best. You can bring your fingertips on the ground. If you have your blocks, bring them on the medium height. And then what we want to do is try and stretch across the top of the back leg. So the front, as you bend, it's good if your front foot is flat rather than the heel up. So if you need to, you bring the front foot more forward. And then you let the back of the pelvis descend. And if you don't feel a stretch across the top of the back leg, then you might move the knee back an inch or two. And hands on the blocks, and then descend and stretch across the top of the thigh. If it gets too intense, you back out for breath, inhale, and you can move in and out of this one. Exhale. Why don't we do that a couple of times? Inhale, hips back. Exhale, descend, and back, and descend. You can let your head drop, or you can look forward. You can let the chin lift a little bit. It can be quite nice to stretch the back of your neck here as you're stretching across the top of your thigh. You can also let the pelvis move, sway side to side, a little bit of swaying. Take 3 more breaths or so, emphasizing the long exhalation. And then bring yourself out, bring your knee down, do your best to bring yourself out, coming onto hands and knees. And then let's take the other leg forward, the right leg forward into a low lunge. The hands can come on the knees. You can inhale the hips back and exhale, lunge. So try and have your front foot flat. Have your knee back far enough so that you get a stretch across the top of the thigh. If you're not used to doing this one, it can be quite intense. So the pelvis descends and then the knee moves back a little bit, maybe front foot flat. Move in and out a couple of times. And then descend. The pelvis can sway side to side. So second side, pelvis a little bit swaying, the right foot forward, and just taking it other side. So this is a big one, the request at the beginning of class for the front of the hip flexors. Anything lungy gets right into that area. So not too much, not too little, don't overdo it. No need to go to your end range. It's better not to go to your very end range, no pushing. Just like we don't like to be pushed around ourselves in our lives, the body also doesn't like to be pushed around. Okay, so when you're ready, come out. So good. Bring yourself out. And let's take a downward facing dog. So for beginners, this pose is not that easy. So you see how you go. I'm not sure where you are in your yoga practice, but the hands are a little more forward now, or knees a little further back, and press into down dog. Lengthen the arms, press the hands down, press down into the heels, but the heels don't have to get to the ground. Then you can inhale on the toes, exhale, press down into heels. Inhale onto toes, exhale, press down into heels. Inhale onto toes, sitting bones go to the sky, exhale, heels. And one more, inhale, toes, exhale, down into the heels. I'm going to move my blanket. If you still have it there, you can move it away. Walk your feet towards your hands, keep the knees bent, walk the hands back to the feet, and hang. If for any reason hanging is not good for you, then you can come right up. Sometimes if you have high blood pressure, glaucoma, it's not good to hang. Okay, so head relaxed and knees bent, and take a little opportunity so that your spine contraction. Then ground down into the feet, keep the knees bent, sweep the arms out to the side, lift in the chest, lead with the heart, sweep arms high, palms through center, then sweep arms out again, palms through center, sweep out, and palms through center. So let's sweep out. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the back and squeeze back. You can take a little mini back bend here if you like. It's helpful to keep the knees a little soft. And you can lift the chest. If it's hard to interlace, grab your belt or a towel, some kind of scarf. Squeeze back, lift chest. You can lift the neck. Then bend the knees plenty. Bring your belly between your thighs. Look back between the thighs and see if the arms come away from your back. They don't have to come away from the back, but try and bring the front of the shoulders back. Also, you can bend the elbows, no problem. Then we're going to come up. Hands come to back of the sacrum, release. Sweep them over the head. Reach up. And then a second time, when the hands come behind the back, this time bring the other thumb on top, squeeze back, feet hip distance, belly down between thighs, and look back between the legs. You can go straighter with your legs if that feels good, but it's good to start with the legs bent. You get more forward fold. You want to go straight, that feels good. You can do that. And then slowly rise up, release the hands, sweep them over the head, and palms through center. Then we're going to do a sun salutation slowly. We'll put the various parts together. So see how you go. And at the end of the session and between sessions, always feel free to contact me for questions about, anything I say or any of the poses. So bringing your palms together, take a moment standing on your feet. And then try not to lock your legs out, but let your ankles be free, the knees free, the hips free. You might even sway a little bit on your feet and then come back center, mountain pose. Sweep arms out, your breath comes in. Little bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, arms come wide, exhale, fold, and hands can come to shins, ankles, or touch the ground, let the head hang. And hands come on halfway to the shins, lift the chest forward, lengthen the back, look a little ahead of you, exhale, fold down. We're going to come up, sweep arms out, rise high, and palms through center. So that's a half sun salutation. Actually, let's do sweep arms up. I wanted to do this one, I forgot. Interlace the hands to the sky. And exhale over to the right, lengthen the left side. Bring it back, inhale. Exhale over to the right, lengthen the right. Sorry, it goes to the left and you lengthen right side. Come back center. You don't have to go over very far. Your hips can move as well. Just go on the half breath. Inhale up. Exhale over. And one more each side. Up. And lengthen through the waist and the ribs. Bring it back. And over, lengthen waist and ribs. And then back by the side. Okay, then we'll hands to heart, mountain pose. Sweep out. Little bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, fold all the way down. Head heavy. Halfway lift. This time bring the hands down and step one foot and the other foot back and you come to plank pose, top of a push-up. If that's too much, bring the knees down. Hold the plank pose 3 breaths. So stronger breaths, because now there's more being demanded. It's a stronger pose. Push floor away. Then knees down or not, lower your chest down between the hands. Lie flat. Bring the arms forward, so into Sphinx, elbows under the shoulders. If you want to come a little higher into Cobra, long Cobra with the hands forward, that's fine, but try and keep your shoulders down and breathe into your back. Be comfortable in your back. We'll do a couple more of these, so it doesn't have to be your biggest one. And then bring yourself down, bring the hands back, turn toes under, and exhale back into downward dog. You can take the right leg up into the air. You don't have to circle the ankle. We won't do this for very long. In fact, that's long enough. Slowly bring it down. Take the other leg into the air, circle the ankle, push floor away, lengthen through the arms. Slowly bring the leg down. Breathe in and long breath out. At the end of the exhale, walk forward. Bring your hands to the shins, halfway lift. Keep the back of the neck long. You can even bring your hand there and make sure you're not tipping head back too much. But the chest lifts forward. And then exhale, fold. And another breath, letting your spine traction hang, head heavy. Knees a little bent, and get the springiness from the ground. Sweep arms out and rise up, fingers to sky. Palms through center, mountain pose. Take a breath. Take in your surroundings. Maybe there's a window. You can remember there's an outside world. As you also listen and feel your inside world. We'll go again, sweep out. Little mini back bend here if you like. That feels good. Soft knees, hinge at the hips. Feel your feet on the ground, fold. Halfway lift. And then step, step. Back to plank, hold plank, a few breaths. The belly can engage, the thighs engage. Knees down or not, lower yourself, getting the chest down before the belly. Then you can come into a back bend, high or low. So those who know, if you know upward dog and you're happy to do it, you can. I'm not going to teach you. Sphinx, or you lift the elbows. So your hands the hands don't have to stay all the way back. That's often how Cobra was done. You move the hands, I like to bring them forward of the shoulders, the hands. One more breath in your Cobra or Sphinx. And then coming down, hands back by ribs, turn the toes under, push the floor away, exhale into downward dog. Down dog is long through the arms, all the way up to the top of the thighs, long through the other side. Heels as wide as baby toes, and see if you can lift your toe pads. So you press down into the heels, but heels never have to get to the ground. The other end of your foot, your toes, can you just lift the toes up, but you're pressing down into the roots of the toes. One more long breath in and out. At the end of the long exhale, hold breath for just a second, walk forward. When you get halfway, take a big breath in. And very long breath out, head heavy. And a second breath here, letting your head be heavy. Legs straight or a little bent, whatever feels nice, happy for you. Sweep arms out. Rise high. And palms through center. Take a moment, arriving back into your heart. Our heart mind. Wherever you go, there you are. It's one of the most brilliant titles of a book, isn't it? Wherever you go, there you are. Then come, actually standing at the front of your mat. Then we're going to take the weight, let me face this way. We're going to take the weight into the right foot. So bring your feet hip distance, okay? We're going to take, let me stand here so you can see. We're going to take the weight into the right foot and step the left foot back, but we're going to bring the heel down. So it's like this. And make sure your back heel doesn't come behind your foot, but the back foot, the heels stay on their own train tracks. If you can, you get the back heel down and then bend the front knee and you turn towards the front leg. Back leg can be nice and straight, and then turn your shoulders. So it's a warrior one stance, but it doesn't have to be super, you don't have to be super long, like sometimes you see it really deep. So it doesn't have to be too deep. And then the hands can be on the hips. Inhale and straighten the front leg, and exhale, bend the front leg. Keep the chest lifted and see if you can feel a stretch through the top of the thigh, through the inner thigh as you press the back foot down. Inhale, come out. Exhale, ground into the back foot. So even though we bend the front knee, ground into the back foot. Inhale, out. Exhale, bend the front knee, but ground into the outer edge of the back foot. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, ground down. One more. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, ground down, and then sweep arms up. Reach up, especially reach through the pinky side of your fingers. Turn your palms forward and exhale, squeeze down between shoulder blades. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze down. Keep pressing through the back foot. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze down. The arms can go up and then sweep them, bring them onto the rim of the pelvis. And you're going to take a little push off with the back foot and come and stand at the front of your mat again. Okay, then you might feel a little stretch through the top of the thigh. You can let me know afterwards if that was good for you, for your what you were where you were hoping to get into. Transfer the weight into the left foot. Step back with the right. Check out your feet that they're on parallel lines rather than, you don't want this foot to go too far behind this one. So have some distance left to right. Bring the hands, turn the hips towards the front foot. Turn the shoulders. Ground the back foot, back leg more straight. Hands on hips. Inhale. Exhale. Ground into the back foot as you bend. We'll move in and out. Inhale back. Exhale. Bring it back. Ground the back foot as you bend. Inhale back. Exhale. Exhale through the top of the thighs. That's good. Inhale. And exhale. Keep the front leg bent. Plug the back foot into the floor. Sweep arms up. Reach out through pinky, baby finger side of your hand. Then turn the palms forward and exhale. Squeeze down between the shoulder blades. Inhale up. Keep plugging the back foot into the ground. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Hands come up. Bring them onto the rim of your pelvis. Take a little momentum to push off the back foot and come and stand. Then take the legs nice and wide along the long edge of your mat. The hands into the lower back. And from here, if all feels good, take a little back bend so the thumbs come into the area at the back of the pelvis. And you lift, maybe gaze up, Just see what feels good. And then let yourself forward fold, wide legs. Feel free to bend the knees a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to get to the floor. You bend the knees a little bit, fingertips to floor, and let your head hang and look back between the legs. And then with the knees a little bit bent, you can move the weight side to side. So you bend one leg, straighten the other. So yeah, you bend the right, straighten the left. Bend the left, straighten the right. Can experiment with that. And then we're going to come back to center and heel toe feet together. Bring your tush to the floor and come into a squat. Come into your squat. And then bring your tush down. So let's see. We're going to do one more low lunge. So I'm going to open my blanket. So I wish I could see you, Victor, but I understand. Sorry, I wish I could see you without, so then I'd be able to give you direct instructions. That's okay. So, oh, there you go. Yeah, put your camera down a tiny bit just so I can see you. It'd be awesome. Just so I can make sure it's good for you. Yeah, awesome. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So if you want, put the blanket underneath your knees. That's it. Okay. And then bring the left foot forward. That's it. And then descend. There you go. And scooch. Yes. And then bring both hands to the inside of the front foot. There you go. And now we'll take a few breaths here. Let yourself, so you can let the head hang down if you like. You can let yourself descend down and move the hips a little bit side to side. There you go. Nice and slow. And feel what's going on. There you go. See what you notice. If you get to a spot that feels good, stay there and take another breath or two. That's good. Yeah, nice and deep. And then the front knee can, it's already happening. The front knee can open up a little bit. You're already doing it. Yeah, that's good. Go side to side. There you go. Take a couple more breaths. I'm just going to close my window so I can hear someone started mowing. Okay. All right. Last long exhale. Then bring yourself out. You can come up for a moment, tuck the toes under, and shake the hands. Little shake hands and shoulders. Shaking is always a nice way to help reset the nervous system. And then we'll take the other foot forward. Right foot forward. This time you bring both hands to the inside. And then the back knee can go back a little bit and let your pelvis descend. There you go. That's it. Front foot can move forward slightly or back knee can go back. There you go. That's, yeah. That's enough. Yeah. Great. Yeah, nice and slow side to side. So just sensing, feeling the head. You can look down. I need to look forward. The front knee might open up a little bit, but, have a sense of the front foot on the ground as you breathe through the back hips, the left hip. If it gets too intense, you back out a little bit. Otherwise, 2 or 3 breaths more. Smooth breath. Great. And when you're ready, slowly come out. Then do you have a block or not? No? Okay, then do you have a couple of blankets? You've got one blanket there. And so what you can do is create a kind of a little, well, I folded my blanket like this. So I would get you to use a block if you had a block, but you're going to fold your blanket something like that. Just watch, just hang. I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm going to move the blanket out of the way. I'm going to lie down on my back, and then I'm going to put the blanket underneath the back of my pelvis. So make sure it's not up. Okay, so fold up some blankets and put them in the middle of, put them off to the side. Yep. Okay, lie down. Head, yep, and then lift your pelvis up and slide the blanket under the back. Turn the blankets around the other way so they're not, yeah. Back of the pelvis, not the low back, a little bit towards, yes. Little bit towards tail, yep. No, and you want to feel settled. So, yep, that's it, play around. That's it. And can you just settle your hips onto the blanket? That's it. Yep. Yeah. And then slowly let your legs extend out. Correct. Head. Yes. And then the legs extend out. And you can let your legs go straight and pull your toes back. Yes. That's it. The arms can go out to the side or over your head. How does that feel? Good? Yeah, good. Breathe and just relax there. Then take some deep breaths, because now it's beautiful, passive, right across the top. You requested some, you mentioned that you had the tight hip flexors, where the front of the thigh muscles have the tendons that go to the front hip bones. So this is a nice release out. And then after some time, after pulling the toes back, then if it feels good, you can relax your feet. And we'll just take a minute, relax. If you prefer to have the toes pulled back, do that. You can also reach your arms over your head and grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. Right? Yeah, that's it. Opposite elbow with opposite hand. And then that gives beautiful long length through your side body. That's it. Yeah, toes pulled back. You got it. And then breath, long and smooth. Another 4 breaths. Okay, then let's bend the knees, bring the feet on the floor. To come out, you're going to lift the pelvis up and move your blankets out to the side. Okay, and hug the knees in, take some circles. Hug the knees in, take some circles. Bring your arms out to the side and hug the knees right into the chest. And exhale, drop the knees to the right and then bring them back. Inhale, take the legs to the left. We'll just move in and out a few times, back center. Exhale, take them towards the right. Keep knees together as you bring them back. Take them to the left. Bring these together as you bring them back. One more each side. Drop them, and nice and slow. And next time the legs are to the right, take them all the way over. And then what you can actually bring your feet down to the ground. Let me do this. And then you lift your pelvis up, take it to the left. So you lift pelvis up, take it to the left. So it's this movement. That's it. And bring the pelvis down. Hug knees in, and now bring your feet up and drop the knees more to the right. So lying down, twist. That's it. And breathe comfortably, smoothly. Long exhale. And then bring the knees back to center. Bring your feet on the ground. Lift your pelvis up, bring it back to center, and then lift pelvis up and take it over to the right. Hug your knees in and drop the knees to the left and open up in front of the right shoulder. Head, neck can be comfortable any direction. And take a twist this side. That's it. You can bring your knees more up towards your chest. That's it. That's it. Yeah, there you go. Does your bottom knee touch the ground? Not quite. There you go. That's it. Another breath. Okay. Exhale and back to center. Bring your, release the feet down. And then I think we'll do Shavasana this way. Roll over to the side. And the blankets that you have rolled up, so I'll show you what we're going to do. Actually, I'm going to change my roll. You might need to change your roll. I'm creating a nice long roll. It doesn't have to be very high. I'm putting it along the mat. And then watch, I'll just show you the whole thing. I'm going to bring the roll up to the back of my pelvis, keep my knees bent, and then I'm going to take a rest like this. So actually, you had 2 blankets, right? Yes, so open them up and we'll fold them together. So put them one on top of the other. Yeah. And then create the roll so it's long enough for your torso and your head. You don't want your head hanging off the roll. That's it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that looks great. Perfect. Sometimes yoga is like a blanket folding lesson. It sometimes becomes that. So that's perfect. That's great. And then bring the back of yes. And then keep the knees bent and use your hands. And we're going to lie down. There you go. And then if you like, you can keep the knees bent or you extend the legs out. Let the feet flop open. Yeah. Is it comfortable? Yeah. Yeah, good. There you go. And it's such a beautiful opening through the belly and the front of the chest and the big breathing sheath muscle, tendon, the diaphragmatic, we call it the diaphragm, breathing sheath-like muscle that separates the upper torso from the lower torso, has all the room to move. Okay, so we'll just relax here for a couple of minutes. That's it. And as you notice your experience, noticing your inner experience while also noticing the outer environment. You might notice the ambient sounds, or sometimes even loud sounds. You can notice the temperature and the smells, while you're also aware of your inner experience, letting your attention scan throughout all of you, noticing where your attention naturally goes. Ensuring that the jaw is not tight. Feel free to sigh at any point. Sighing is a nice release. Okay, and then we're just going to move slowly, bend one knee and bend the other knee. And you can push up to come off your roll. And then for the final few minutes of class, you're going to bring the roll underneath the back of your knees for support of the back of the knees. Get a little bit above the back of the knee and a little bit below in the back of the knee. That's it, right in the back. And use your arms, lie down. And then we'll finish the rest. The arms can be wherever you like. You could even bring your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. So wherever you like, and take a few more moments to do nothing, to simply rest.